To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. JR, positivesarcasm.com, recording here from the Spare Parts Studio. Happy Sunday, everybody. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can also find me on my YouTube channels, Positive Sarcasm and Positive Sarcasm Podcast, and you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. I got all your bases covered. I got all your footballs caught, and I got all your end zone dances. Why is there a hole in my new chair? What the freak is that all about? Happy Sunday, everybody. I even got a small sermon for you. Hallelujah. Oh my God, everybody is going crazy once again with the bullshit lockdowns and the fucking curfews and the signing a waiver until you have to. When you have to go into another state, you have to sign a waiver? What kind of bullshit is that? Congratulations. We are officially no longer the United States. We are now fucking Russia. Where is your papers? So that's it. We're done. That's it. You know what? That's a fine. I don't need to go into Massachusetts. I don't want your fucking pastries. I don't need to go outside for coffee. I now make my own. I cook my own turkey. I've cooked my second turkey already, and it's not even Thanksgiving. I got 2 more in the freezer, ready to go, and I'm grabbing 2 more on Wednesday. I officially no longer drink other coffees. I now roast, grind, and brew my own coffee. I started out with the light roast, and I've successfully brewed a dark roast. More on that to come. More like a very early 2021 release of a quite possible coffee line. Will it be under the Positive Sarcasm logo? I don't think so. I think it might be the triumphant return of PB and Joey. But it'll be the dark roast. Because, it's funny. It's like people take peanut butter. Oh, that's cute. He brews his own peanut butter. But it's like peanut butter is one of those things that you just set on the shelf and you buy it and it sits on your shelf. And people have their own blends or whatever. And I find it, and then it's like, okay, so I don't eat peanut butter all the time. It's not the best thing for you, although it's calorically dense, so it's good for when you want to go do something heavy. But it's not something you eat, every day. But if it is, well, good for you. In that case, try my product. But coffee, that's everything. There's a reason why there's 24 people in the Starbucks drive-thru right now blowing their stimulus check on one fucking latte. There's a reason for that. Maybe it's just because people are idiots. I mean, come on. Obviously, that's definitely a reason. But that's something that people drink every day. And it's like, okay, well, I have to put it financially, methodically. I mean, yeah, both those things. Okay. Let's just say people don't want to buy it. Let's say they're stuck to their guns. Well, that's fine. I'll drink it. I think it's really good. I think it tastes like all the other deep, dark Italian roasts out there right now. It tastes like Lavazza without the aftertaste. If you ever had Lavazza, good coffee, but has an aggressive aftertaste. Some of their Robustos or their Italian Supremos have an incredibly notable aftertaste. Something that after a while really actually gets on your nerves. But this coffee hits you strong and then goes away. Okay? But it doesn't hit you as strong as a Cubano coffee. Now, the only coffee I would really love to have again is the coffee I had from Café Du Monde. Comes in a can, and it's not the French roast. The French roast didn't do anything for me. But their coffee and chicory flavor was something different than anything I've ever had. And was really enjoyable. I was like, oh, this is good. This has got something to it that I've never had before. I could totally have this again. However, if chicory is some type of filler that I could add to a blend, then I'll just order it and do it myself. But as far as, ordering from Aroma Joe's or Cafe Bustelo or Lavazza or whatever, it's like, you know what? I'm done. I think I'm good. No offense to any of those other coffees out there. You do you. But I think we're done here. I think I have my own. I think it's one more thing that I can now do myself. So begs the question is, what is next? Well, I always ask myself, what is it? What else can I be doing? You know, I finally got like a few more weights. I got my barbell in. I'm doing some lifting now. I felt really tiny. I mean, next thing you know, my muscle memory was coming back. I feel more swole again. I'm taking creatine. I'm eating like a savage. Finally, feel better that way. I had all the aches and pains. My neck was hurting. 2 days of lifting, I feel fine again. I feel so much better. And now I'm drinking my own coffee. It only took me 3 tries. Good, we're good there. What else can I be doing that I don't rely on the... I haven't walked into an actual retail store to do any shopping in forever. Like forever. Haven't walked into a grocery store in forever. I'm really thankful for what I get to do by myself. And I'm at the point where I'm still setting a goal for early spring to have no debts. And I know there's tons of you out there that have all these crazy college debts that are just dying for some type of forgiveness. I'm here to tell you right now, the only person that can forgive you is you. Or if you're religious, I mean, obviously the Almighty, but I mean, the only person that can forgive you is yourself. So if you want to forgive your student loans, do yourself a favor. Forgive them your fucking self. Pay them off yourself. You made the stupid decision to go to college and then end up working somewhere for $14.50 an hour. That's your fucking decision. So do yourself a favor. Pay that shit off. Make an effort to do it because guess what? You can. All right? Careers are over. There's no more careers. There's none of that. There's just a job, a certification to get a better paying job, and then another certification to get yourself a better paying job. There's no loyalty anymore. It's where can I get the most money next by doing the least amount of work? That's all it is. So do yourselves a favor. Have no debt. I've got 2 cars and no debt. Well, at least in the springtime, the very early springtime. I'm getting a multitude of things. I just bought a 6th watch. I have a perfect wardrobe. I've got a multitude of computers. I'm always getting more. And I'm scaling down. I continue to scale down, but getting more cool stuff. And I've got solid people around me. Christmas is going to be just fine. And while everybody's out there screaming for more toilet paper and obviously panic buying, and as people continue to go absolutely fucking nuts, I'm enjoying myself, but simply by having the power of an introvert who understands how to get his message out there. I'm having too much fun. I'm having so much fun. I threw a 20-pound turkey off the roof yesterday and had an absolute blast. And for some reason, my neighbors don't care. They hear a loud crash, they turn around, they see shit splattered all over the place, and then they go back to what they're doing. You know why? Because I'm a solid citizen. I'm a good neighbor. It's just every once in a while, I decide I want to throw some shit off the roof. And the way this one was set up was this. It was not it looked like a remote, like if you're one of those people who's working at home, it looks like a remote work from home desktop. But it was not an actual desk. It was 2 desktop computers, and then on top of those were 2 DirecTV cable boxes. So those look like the stands for the table. And then the actual table, the flat piece, was a 42-inch flat screen television. And then on top of that, in the middle, was a blue HP Stream laptop, and on each side of it were 2 monitors. So I had a bunch of turkeys, and I wondered to myself, what would happen if I threw a whole turkey off the roof? Now, if it lands on the pavement, we got a problem. Because if it lands on the pavement, you have a frozen turkey. I don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to bounce? Is it going to crack? I'm assuming because it's basically just flesh and ice that it will probably just crack. But if it hits the TV, it will obviously soften the fall to the point where the turkey will stay intact. And sure enough, when it hit, and I wanted it to hit a little closer towards the middle, but, I mean, when you're thinking about it, I'm not an NBA player. And I'm like, you know what? As long as it lands solidly around the circumference of the TV, we're good. And sure enough, it had a solid shot that landed just left of center to this HP Stream computer. And then the whole thing, and it's cool because when you see it in slow motion, once the TV buckles in half, you see one of the monitors just sort of levitate for a quick second, just sort of goes up in the air, perfectly stable, and then when it comes back down, that's when it falls over. But it was a good break. It was a solid break. This time, I decided instead of doing just the one view, I went with two views. I went with the rooftop view, the reverse bird's eye view with the GoPro. As you can see, the turkey just sort of flying overhead. You can actually not only see the turkey flying overhead, but you can see me releasing the turkey. And then finally, the final shot in slow motion and in normal speed, the actual hit. So you can go ahead and check out that 42-second clip on YouTube, Positive Sarcasm. And, of course, you can also check it on my social medias, which I believe you can also find me on Parler now, which is a new social media app that I'm trying out. We'll see how that works. I'm mostly just going to be, starting a presence there to see how things work out. So on top of that, yes. And then also, of course, a new video is dropping on Wednesday morning at 5. Wednesday morning? When? Uh-oh. Hold on a second here. Not Wednesday morning, Thanksgiving morning. No, boy. Now I got to actually figure out which day is Thanksgiving, so we got to find this out. Oh, boy. Before I get to the next thing, I got to find this out. This is super important. Okay, so the 26th is a Thursday. Is the 26th a Thursday? Okay, the 26th is a Thursday, and this is supposed to drop on the 26th at 5 a.m. Okay, so that's good. No problems there. Okay, good. So that's one less thing I got to worry about. Okay, excellent. So, obviously, there's a lot to be thankful for this year, especially me, because I've had very good fortune this year. So, obviously, I'd like to all bow our heads very quick. Before I get to this week's articles, I want to do a quick sermon. Hail Mary, full of grace. Thank you for the food at this sacred time and place. But if you touch my apple pie, I'll stab you in the face and leave you to die. Amen. So, that is for all of you who will be joining friends and family. As I told you, go see your friends and family this Thanksgiving and for the rest of this holiday season. I don't care where they are. Shout out to all those stuck in California. Now, obviously, there's a reoccurring article on this podcast because I'm a fan of cars. I own two of them, both V8s, one single overhead cam, one dual overhead cam. Honestly, you know what's funny is the dual overhead cam is a larger engine but quieter than the single overhead cam. But both from the same company. In either case. So cars are one of those things in this, for some reason, that's a reoccurring shit, is the Cannonball Run. The Cannonball Run, as you know, is an illegal race, an illegal timed race from the Red Ball Garage in Manhattan to the coast of Southern California. Now, the reason it's been in the news a lot more lately is because during quarantine and in the initial lockdown, there were a lot of, well, obviously there weren't a lot of cars on the road. Since there weren't a lot of cars on the road and cops were busy doing other shit, the Cannonball Run was much easier to do because there was no traffic. So this record was falling every few weeks. Now another one has happened again. But there's a kicker to this one, but we'll get to that afterwards. Because let me get to it afterwards. So obviously the Audi A8 and the Audi the Audi A8 and the Audi S6 are two notorious offenders to the Cannonball Run. The Ford Mustang just recently joined the fray as one of the Cannonball Run record breakers. And what was the other one before that? Oh, the Mercedes two-door, the Mercedes V8 two-door, which is the one that first got my attention a few years back. So, and they're all being done within under 28 hours. I think the first time it was like 28 hours and 50 minutes. But here's the recent one. The legendary Cannonball Run has been around since 1933. Now, obviously this thing is highly illegal, but okay, let's go ahead and just get right to the actual car. So back in 27 hours. So back in I'm going to read the article and then I will put the addendum to it. Back in 2019, by the way, this is from carbuzz.com. Back in 2019, the record was pinned at 27 hours and 25 minutes by Arn Toman, Doug Tabbitt, and spotter Berkeley Chadwick in the 2015 AMG E63. The E63 is a monster. The C63 and the E63 are savage sedans. The record was trounced once again in April this year by a mysterious driver piloting an Audi A8. The time was now at 26 hours and 38 minutes, 45 minutes faster than the previous record, but suffered some criticism due to the fact that COVID-19 restrictions made it easier to avoid cops and traffic. Finally, Towman and Tabbitt hit the 25-hour and 39-minute Cannonball run for their 2016 Audi S6. Records were also set for the solo record, the diesel record, and the coast-to-coast record. And then the Ford Mustang did it. They did it in a rental. They just basically put 2 gas tanks on it and took off. As reported by the YouTube channel Tedward, the new record under normal driving conditions stands at 25 hours and 57 minutes and was set in a 2019 BMW M5. They call it the competition, the M5 competition. I'm not sure what the difference is between an M5 and the M5 competition. Might be because they had the BMW E63 and the E63 Black, or the AMG and the AMG Black, which means it's like a more aggressive suspension. The car was modified with a high-tech police scanner, lots of LED lighting, reserved 60-gallon fuel tank, and all the badges were removed from the car to make it more difficult to identify. This M5 has also seen some engine tuning and a cooling system upgrade. Oh, Jesus. The 2019 BMW M5 competition produces 625 horsepower and 550 pounds of torque in stock form. According to Tedward, the only reason the M5 lost out on the record was because of a hostage situation that shut off a section of highway in California. Whether or not this run is recognized as the new record or not, it's an incredible achievement. Let's continue, and that's just the article. Now, I believe the original winner. Now, okay. I also have the Cannonball Run records here. So this one was set in 25 hours, and some people are arguing that because the top of this article says BMW M5 sets a new Cannonball record. Underneath it says assuming those set during lockdown don't count. Now the one this says here, this is on Daily Mail UK. New Cannonball Run record is set in 25 hours and 35 minutes. This is the one by Doug Tabbitt and Arn Toman, and they were in the Audi. Was this an A6 or an S6? This is the one that was disguised as a police interceptor with the Ford badge. This was a, 25 hours in May. Let's see. Our picture was spotter Dunendell. They broke the Cannonball record in May with a time of 25 hours and 55 minutes, driving from NSC. Blah, 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 blah. It's getting really confusing figuring out which freaking numbers have to do with which. Get out of here. I don't care about you. The record, the record-breaking car was an Audi S6, and they put a Ford badge on it to make it look like a police interceptor. Pretty clever, actually. What else? So, okay, this BMW, it sets a new Cannonball Run record, but not really. This one was done in, let me see. Let me scroll down. Okay, this is 27 hours. 25. The time was now set at 26 hours and 38 minutes. Okay. Okay. The new record under normal drive. Okay. As reported by YouTube channel Tedward, the new record under normal. Okay. This is 20. Okay. The BMW M5, this one just recently that attempted it, did it in 25 hours and 57 minutes. The one that was done in the S6, 25 hours and 39 minutes. And this one was 25. Okay, so the BMW did not break any records. Now, look, you could say that the ones under quarantine don't count. You could, but under what circumstances would they qualify as not counting? This is an illegal race. If you get caught doing this, you are going to jail. So what does it matter if you're breaking speeds or if you're breaking quarantine restrictions? It doesn't matter. It's an illegal race. How illegal are you going to do it? It doesn't matter. You could put fucking rocket boosters on the back of your car. It doesn't matter. As long as the Cannonball Run is simply how fast can you take that car and get it from the Red Ball Garage to, Marina Bay in Southern California. That's it. That's the race. It doesn't matter how you get there. The car has to stay on the ground and get you from that has to be the start point and the end point. Doesn't matter during restrictions. Doesn't matter. So this M5, don't get me wrong, is the M5 and the drivers fully capable of getting from this spot to that spot? Absolutely. Did they have the car to do it? Absolutely. Does it make it harder under normal driving conditions to do it? Sure. Should they create a new category? Not really. Okay. It's up to you to take the car and get it there. Could I do it in my cars? Fuck no. First of all, my Mustang would crash. It's terrible braking power. My Lincoln won't do it. Actually, could my Lincoln do it? No, it couldn't do it. It wouldn't. Neither car. The Lincoln is far too heavy, and it's far too heavy, and it doesn't maneuver like an M or any of those cars. Because you'd have to be driving in excess of 100 miles per hour. I believe when the Mercedes did it, the Mercedes was doing it. It was an average of 97 miles per hour when it broke that record. So the idea that, no, my cars could not do it. I would have to get something completely different. But I'm not capable of it. I'm not that skilled of a driver. I don't care how many times I went around that track in the BMW 440 Grand Sport. It's not. Are you kidding me? You put on the History Channel and I fall asleep. So I'm not sure I could handle. There's no amount of Adderall that could keep me awake from the Red Ball Garage to fucking Southern California. And I've done the 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. from Manchester, New Hampshire to mainland Virginia. And I almost fell asleep like 3 times. What car did I do it in? I did that. Let's see. I got 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's fucking what, 5 hours? So I did that in 10 hours. But I did it, and I almost fell asleep. I had to stop like 3 or 4 times. Actually, no, I had to stop like 5 times because that Saab had a terrible head gasket problem, and it burned through oil. So every couple hundred miles, I had to stop at a gas station and put oil in the goddamn car. And you knew it was because it was ticking hard. And I was driving hard. But don't get me wrong, that car was perfect for doing that. Like if that Saab was properly built, that's a car I would definitely consider driving from New York City to LA for a road trip. Now that's an interesting one. I would love to see a Saab do that. Like what do you call it? Like a Viggen, a Viggen Saab 93 Vegan or Viggen, I think it's called. It's for the older swoopback, the older hatchback Saabs. That would totally do it. Those things are souped up hardcore, and they get really good gas mileage too. So that would be one I would consider. But I did that to mainland Virginia, like inner Fairfax County or whatever. What was it? Roanoke. Excuse me, Roanoke. So yeah, I'm not cut out for that. I would be exhausted. But yeah, I mean, good job with these guys. I would like to see him try it again. But the dudes who broke the record and have the official record during quarantine have already done this before, so they know the layout. They're veterans of this, and don't be surprised if they do it again, trying to break their own record. And the fact that they're getting away with it, I'm totally cool with. Just keep breaking shit. Just keep breaking the law. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna keep reporting on it because I think it's absolutely awesome. But I mean, the all Cannonball run records. This one was. Let's see. I want to see more about the guy who did it in. He did it in the Ford Mustang. Let's see. Masquerade. Okay, this one just talks about the Audi. Yeah, the Audi basically they put a Ford. They put the Ford grill on there, the real like police looking grill, the Interceptor grill with the badge in the middle, and they put the Interceptor wheels on there, so it looks like a cruiser. It's very, very clever, and that if caught can get you even more trouble. Let's see, and then I'm just gonna type in. So they did it in 25 hours and 39 minutes, so they're the record holders. Now let's do the Mustang. The Mustang rental did it in how long? So that was the solo record. He did it in 25 hours and 55 minutes. So 25 hours and 55 minutes. So, okay. So there's 2 records ahead of this BMW M5. You have the all-time record set by an Audi S6 disguised as a Ford Taurus Interceptor, 25 hours, 35 minutes. Then you have the Ford Mustang rental V8 GT. And the GT now is a 5.0 liter Coyote V8, which I think produces 440 horsepower. And he did that in 25 hours and 55 minutes, all by himself. And these BMW M5 dudes did it in 25 hours and 57 minutes, so they couldn't even beat the solo record. And they were fucked up by a traffic stop due to a hostage situation. So that's that. I mean, kudos to them. I hope they try it again, because apparently that was the only thing stopping them. I mean, regardless of the lockdown restrictions, the mere fact that if all it was that traffic situation, that traffic stop, that hostage situation was stopping them, then they possibly could have done it, because it was, 1:11, 18 minutes. That was the only difference. 15 to 20 minute difference depending upon, and you have extra people in the car, so you have spotters, and that's extra weight to the car, so it's going to consume more gas. So it really is, it really is a fine line. My question is like, I talked about this in the past. Well, when is it going to be electric? When is electric going to do that? And I know they're talking about electric cars and stuff like that, like nowadays more than ever. Like you see, like if you watch the market, all the electronic cars stocks are just going through the roof, except for Neo. Neo is about to hit a bubble, and that one could possibly burst. But they're all going through the roof. I just want to say this one thing before we close up shop. Look, I get it. Electric cars, are they the future? They are a part of the future. So, like for example, I know internal combustion engines. There's a lot of them on the road. A lot of them necessarily don't need to be on the road. Okay, I'll wholeheartedly admit, if I had a Tesla or a Polestar, I'd be fine with that. But there is not a real aftermarket per se for these cars yet. And my problem with that is, well, for a lot of reasons. I don't like something that I don't have access to. Like if somebody, I get it. It's not like I'm going to change the oil on a Tesla. But maybe there are some things that I would like to do to it. Or I would like other people to have the opportunity if they want to change their own brakes or do this or do that. I get it. So that's why I'm kind of like, I'm not a fan of Apple products. You can't buy buying new chargers. It's too expensive. There's no SD ports. Same thing with the Google Pixel. The Google Pixel's pretty much shaved off all the extra accessories, all the customization options. Not like buying a fucking, what do you call it? A phone, what do you call it? Like a cover. Like if the only thing you can do to your phone is get a cover for it and a screen protector, it's not a phone I want. It's not an accessory I want. Like even for my drones, like I don't go inside my drones, but you can buy filters. You can buy filters for the camera lenses on there. You can buy quieter props. You can get different accessories. There's a lot that you can buy. You can buy all kinds of stuff for your drones. For Apple products, you can't. For electric cars, you can't. But for other cars, for internal combustion cars, you still can. If they've been around for 100 years, there's a lot of different options. So I'm just like, what's going to happen? Do you really think that the internal combustion engine is going to just go away? No, it's not. That's a whole industry. That's a whole industry backed by tons of enthusiasts. What's going to happen to the drifting community, the drift racing community? What's going to happen to the actual NASCAR racing community? The monster truck community. All these other people, all these other communities, the Jeep Wrangler community, the four-wheeling community. What's going to happen to these communities? I know they'll get infiltrated in some way, shape, or form by some of these products. But the internal combustion engine, when you really think about it, is it clean? No. But neither are electric cars. But it's important that they work hand in hand so they both can ensure a proper future. Mining for lithium is not cheap, nor is it safe. Okay? The vast amount of internal combustion engines are not safe. And over time, in a lot of ways, isn't cheap. For me as a consumer, it is. But things have gotten better over time. And if you allow electric cars to have a part of the future, internal combustion engines can continue to be part of the future as well. And I'm perfectly happy as long as I have my internal combustion sports car or Porsche 911, because you can buy a Porsche 911 with decent miles on it for like 20 grand. You really can. You can have your own beautiful 5-6-speed Porsche, your beautiful 5 or 6-speed Mustang, whatever. Your drifting car, your drag car, as long as you understand that there is a new market emerging. And I'd be fine with, down the line, maybe replacing like my rainy day car or my winter car with an electric powered car or something else powered car. Hell, even a diesel. I don't care. To me, it's just as long as it's quiet, it's comfortable, and it's something that's easily maintained and maybe can be sourced out by another community. That's the one thing is like I'm concerned that, first of all, you can go buy right now. You can go buy a pre-owned Tesla. It'll cost you what, $30,000, $30,000 for a pre-owned electric car. And I don't mean like the fucking Priuses or whatever. I'm talking about like an actual electric Tesla. Or, well, Tesla, they're all electric. It's going to cost you a lot of money. But you can go and buy right now a really nice Lincoln Continental, Lincoln Town Car, or a Cadillac from the 80s or early 90s before they put the STS engines in there. Big difference. For not a lot of money. So you get a super comfortable car with low miles that gets decent gas mileage for $5 grand and under. Imagine that. You can get a sick 4-door car with air ride suspension that rides super comfy, that's easy to maintenance for under $5,000. So now you have no car payment or very little car payment. You've got a car that will turn heads that you're comfortable riding around in. Because, look, quality-wise, these Lincolns were decent quality. The Lincolns, the Cadillacs, they were all very good quality. They were nice cars. They rode nice. Whereas some of these Teslas and a lot of the cheaper ones don't have the best quality. So you have to weigh these things out and then make your decision. But remember, once you own a Tesla, you own a Tesla. Once you own a Polestar, you own a Polestar. You're in it. And there's only one place that can maintenance it. Whereas if you have any problems with your Lincoln or your Cadillac, or your just regular everyday Toyota Camry or Toyota Corolla, you can take it to multiple places to have any problem addressed. And like I said, right now with things getting crazy out there, you don't want to make your life more complicated than it needs to be. You don't want to be, and this is I'm not throwing any shit on Elon Musk. I never would. He's an incredibly intelligent guy, and I think he's just trying to help. But right now, the one thing you don't want to be doing is overcomplicating your life. You need to like who you're with, you need to like where you live, and you need to like what you have. And if you don't, that's a major problem. And the way I see it, a Tesla or a car payment or a mortgage or anything else, a college loan, whatever, it just makes life more complicated. And I've been preaching since the very beginning of this podcast, the main objective was to make my life and your life less complicated. And I think over the past couple of years of reviving this, I've allowed myself and maybe some of you to figure out ways to make your life less complicated. Or to try new things. That'll ultimately make your life less complicated. Or make your life more affordable. Whether it is from brewing your own coffee to roasting your own beans, just want to let you know, if you buy a bag of coffee, a good bag of coffee or a good can of coffee, it's going to cost you between, on an average, $6 and $15, depending upon whatever you buy. Whether anything, it could be Pete's or Javalia, and then all the way up to some of the more expensive ones I have up there, like what is it? Hamilton's, Laird Hamilton's Superfood Coffee, which is like $12.99 plus shipping. It's good though. It's really good. Try the Peruvian blend. Or you can go and buy 3 pounds of whole bean Costa Rican blend for like $15. 3 pounds worth. One bag of coffee is that's 3 bags of coffee essentially. And roasting it is super easy. Okay? If you want a light roast, 200 degrees, 15 minutes. If you want a dark roast, 220 degrees, 17 minutes. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Simplifying your life by having everything available to you so you can do it all yourself. And I'm saving money. And with everything that I do, I'm still driving by Starbucks and seeing 30 cars in line. How do you justify that? How do you justify going to a grocery store and buying up all the toilet paper or buying up all the vegetables or emptying the meat rack? How can you justify that to yourself, your family, your friends, or other shoppers? You definitely can't do that with toilet paper when you can buy a fucking bidet for $20 and install it within 30 minutes. So you can't justify. There's a lot that you can't justify to me. A lot. There is a lot. And I'm learning that every single day by learning I can do that, I can do that, and I can do that. It doesn't take you 4 to 6 hours to roast a turkey. Not if you cut the dark meat section, that plate off of the breast section. Then it takes 2 hours per. And you can do 2 hours easily. You put it at 400 degrees. This is it. I'm going to leave you with this. Once you cut the breastplate off of the meat, off of the dark roast part, which is basically, the legs, the wings, and that whole bottom part that usually is really soggy when you're done cooking it, and then it just gets thrown away because it's all ugh. When you flip it over, when you cut that plate off and then you flip that over on a flat plate, on a flat piece that you're going to put in the oven in, you don't have to cover it. 400 degrees, 2.5 hours, 3 at the most, really crunchy skin, perfect meat. And you just take it out and eat it. And really, it already has plenty of flavor and nutrients in it. You could just put a little of that Badia yellow or Badia orange cover. Just cover the skin with the seasoning of that. You're done. You're absolutely done. So that's all you have to do. And that's the easiest way to cook the turkey. And then the breast meat you just put in right afterwards. Or if you have those dual-sided ovens, or if you have 2 ovens, you can do that yourself too. And then you just do the same thing with the breast meat. But it's way easier to cook. You don't have to check the temperature. You don't have to go through all that shit. You just cut the breastplate off, flip the other shit over, throw it in the oven, and wait 2.5 hours. That's it. And you're done. Easiest way to cook a turkey. Easiest way to cook a turkey. And I'll leave you with that. So we are at 38 minutes. So we covered the Cannonball run, which was actually not a record. It's like number 3 on the list. And that's pretty much it. Okay, we're good. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can email me directly through my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can hit me up through all my social medias. You can email me directly at positivesarcasm@outlook.com. You can support the podcast and all of the website. New video dropping Thursday. Positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. I don't do Patreon. I give you all this shit for free. So go ahead and just support the podcast. Would you please? Excuse me. These beans are good, but it was the turkey I had before. Made me bloated. I'm such a fatty. Anyways. Whew. All right, we're done. Okay, let's get out of here. Like I said, if you want to have questions about all the articles you have that I put through, if you have any questions or concerns or comments about all the articles that I read or whatever, or the sourcing of it, you can email me directly. But until then, you can listen, watch, subscribe, do whatever. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Podcast Addict, anywhere where podcasts are available, go ahead and you can subscribe and share, download, like, blah, blah, blah. All right, well, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm done for the day. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, watching, and for all the new subscribers. Thank you. I will talk to you all soon, and I will talk to you all on Wednesday. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.